Let's begin to record. And we are done. Okay. So last week I finished with regarding to the aspect of relationship marketing. That's all about building relationships. And we discussed that building relationships is five times useful than bringing new customers. 5 times useful. If I can talk to my existing customer, build relationship with my existing customer, that's going to be 5 times worth, 5 times easy, 5 times cheap, rather than buying from bringing new. So example, if it's an institute, they have 3-4 courses, they can get people from us to get used to the other programs. If it's commercial bank has customers for savings accounts. It is easy for those people who have savings accounts if you can sell them credit cards than you trying to have new customers for credit cards. You understand? So relationship marketing is all about build relationship with these existing people. And we created a lot of concepts. Remember the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of consumers gets 20% of profits. 20% of consumers get 80% of profits. Therefore, take care of that little amount of consumers who are basically with you. That is particularly one part of the thing which we look into. Pareto, who came out with this 80-20 rule, also gave a big explanation, and last week we went through this. Please go through last week's lectures, whatever you have. Different levels of relationship marketing. We discussed about the Brad factors. What is basic? I go to a place, buy a washing machine, and I come home, and that's it. That's basic. What's reactive? I come home with the washing machine and I call the company and I say that I have a problem. That's reactive. What is accountable? Before I call, the company calls me and asks, Intikab, you bought a washing machine last time. Are you satisfied with it? Proactive is where they call always. Partnership is I and this organization is working to build a partnership. What kind of a partnership? I trust the organization very well. I trust the organization such an extent that the organization sells anything, I am ready to buy. The organization sells anything, I am ready to buy. So that's where we discussed about the S companies. Singer, Sanyo, Sony, Samsung, and Sharp. Go through last week's lecture to discuss, to check all that. I also said this relationship marketing thing is kind of what we say, it's like emptying the bucket. When the bucket is empty, you put more water, but you don't see there is a hole here. You put water, you don't see there is a hole here. Relationship marketing is like that. Usually when there are no customers, you try to get customers from another competitor. But you forget that you already have some customers with you. Try to make them stick to your own product is what is important. That is the aspect of relationship marketing. We went through the relationship loyalty ladder, where we said that first a customer doesn't want to buy from you, then he starts to thinking to buy from you. That is this particular area, prospect. Before prospect, he doesn't even want to buy from you. Before prospect, he doesn't even want to buy from you. Next he goes to is prospect. After that he becomes a customer. After that he becomes a client. A client is now repeat purchase, he is coming. After that he becomes a supporter. After that he becomes an advocate. When he becomes an advocate, he talks on behalf of the organization. An advocate by definition is a lawyer. I told you last week. When you go to courts, whatever you talk is useless unless whatever you talk is told by the lawyer. The same thing has to be told by the lawyer. If the lawyer tells, it's valid. If you tell, it's not valid. So the advocate is about that. They speak on behalf of you. And I told you the example that if amongst a friend clique, if someone is speaking bad about iPhone and you are a loyal customer of iPhone, you will defend iPhone. If you are in a clique where someone is speaking bad about Samsung, you are a Samsung user, you will talk about Samsung. Is Apple paying this customer money? No. Why is he talking? Why is he talking? Because he loves your brand, because he trusts your brand, because he likes to use your brand. Why is Samsung customer talking about Samsung so proudly? Has the organization given him anything? No. He's happy about the services they have done. So that is the whole reason we get into it. I explained you about Pizza Hut. I explained you about the way of how you get the customer acquisition. I talked about customer relationship management. I talked about how they will use all these methodologies to target customers at different groups, age, gender, income. What do they do? Where do they work? You get all these stuff. So you have to use customer relationship management. Today we have databases, we have systems, we have softwares to do this. In your WhatsApp, you have a software, WhatsApp software. In that, if you can upgrade it to business WhatsApp, how many of you all have upgraded it to business WhatsApp? In business WhatsApp, you can identify that there is a possibility where you can talk to people. There is a possibility where you can identify few people and you can actually speak to them separately. So you can group in customers. My WhatsApp, I sometimes use business WhatsApp. I have categorized. You can categorize. You want a message to go only to these people, right? You want only a message to go to in the bank who are having credit card facility over 5 lakhs. You know, there are people who are having credit cards 20 lakhs and above. That credit card you can buy for 20 lakhs. My goodness, just see. If for 20 lakhs there is a car even, or 25 lakhs there is a car, you can give 5 lakhs and from his credit card buy a car. There are some people who are like that. You want to target these people in the software, you go and put a research, a filter, and find out who is above 10 lakhs. Tuck, the information will come. This is the reason of this. Pizza Hut in Dahiwala wants to know, I am going to give a promotion to Dahiwala. Give me the top 5 customers of Dahiwala. Tuck, the message will come. Whoever who is there, these are the 5 customers. Okay, right. Call them. Hello, we're calling from Pizza Hut. We've identified that in the month of January, February, March, you have been chosen as the luckiest winner for Pizza Hut because you have been the largest customer for Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut wants to actually value your relationship with Pizza Hut. We want to give you 2 full pizzas and a bottle of Coke free of charge. What do you think will happen, my friends? What do you think will happen if Pizza Hut does that? The pizza will come home. They will take pictures. Are they going to keep pictures with them? No, they will put in their WhatsApp status. They'll put in Instagram. They'll put in Facebook. They'll send it to their friends. What's happening? Pizza Hut is getting a free publicity. Pizza Hut is getting a publicity without even paying money. They're just getting a free publicity. Just do it and see. Do you think this customer is going to buy anything from Domino's? Never. They're going to buy from Pizza Hut. Do you think they'll buy from anywhere else? No, they won't. They will just buy from these people. I mean, that's simply it, right? That's simply it. So that's the whole idea of this. And I told you, if you ask permission, shall I send you messages? Shall I send you direct mailing, meaning letters? Shall I send you email and you ask him to tick? Yes, yes, send me emails. No, don't send me emails. If you ask permission like that, this particular slide means the response is better if you ask permission. Don't suddenly send messages. Don't suddenly do this. Just ask permission and do. It's better. In terms of legal stuff, there are 2 particular acts in UK. One is called the Data Protection Act in 1998, and one is the Electronic Communication Regulation in 2003. It says that be very careful if you want to send a message to someone. Sending a message is not a nice thing if you were trying to sell something. In England, if you are having a mobile phone, and in England, if HSBC sends you a message, HSBC sends you a letter, HSBC sends you an email telling that they are selling these things, these are their products and services, come and bank with HSBC, you sometimes can take HSBC to courts because HSBC is not supposed to do this. HSBC is not supposed to uh, have any such things done by contacting people's mails, SMSs, WhatsApps, emails, etc. So they are not allowed basically to do this. Is kind of an important fact when it comes into this data protection and things like that. Database marketing refers to now that having a database and selling things. What's a database? Something like a software which has all these connections. The customer's name, so that I will send him letters with his name. Customer's age, so I know what age group of people are with me. The address of the customer, where he lives. Date of birth, date of purchase, financial requirement, customer requirement, employees who dealt with the customer, when was the last contact they dealt. All this is what is needed. When you call Dialog, everything comes in the screen. Who you are, when did you pay the last bill, a photograph of you if you have updated it, everything comes in. And what do we need this for? To help companies to target consumers. Now, why do I need his date of birth? Pizza Hut again finds out that one of their biggest customers' birthday is tomorrow. How will it be if tomorrow they come with a pizza and surprise you at your door? Won't you be happy? Won't you be satisfied? Won't you be loyal? Won't you take pictures and put it on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere? You're going to do that, right? That is how important it is when you have these databases being used. You should be able to use a database to mingle with the customers. Stimulate further demand by segmentation. Stimulate further demand by segmentation, grouping consumers, high income, middle income, low income, based on their requirement. These kind of things can be used to send direct mailers, emails, normal letters directly. Helps to build usage patterns. I can study the usage patterns. Able to evaluate marketing activities. How can I promote my activities to them? Account analysis on volume and value of how much they have bought. Helps to update market research with feedback. Projects future consumer retention. How do we make sure that these consumers stay with us? It gives all these kind of things of what they do. With this, we identify that social marketing is needed, not social media, not social media marketing. Social marketing is also needed. Social marketing is to do marketing good to the society. Social marketing is what? To do marketing good to the society. What is marketing good to the society? Marketing which is good to the society is that you do something where the society benefits from that. You do something where the society benefits from that. One example is Nike. I given you Nike. How do they do it? How many of you all know that Nike is taking dirt from the sea to clean the sea, and with that dirt they want to recycle and make reusable shoes and give it for people. That is one example. This is something like that. It's called sustainable business. Sustainable business. What about Coca-Cola? There is something called Coca-Cola's concept on recycling Coca-Cola bottles, encouraging people not to throw these plastic bottles but to recycle it. What about Coke refund systems of what they have? It's all the possible way of how they can actually do it. What is McDonald's CSR? Remember the marketing definition. Marketing is a management process which has three activities: identify, anticipate, satisfy customer wants and needs. For a what? For a what? For a profit. Better than whom? Better than the competitors. In a what? In a what? In a socially acceptable way. This is the socially acceptable way. That's what's called social marketing. In a marketing which is benefiting the society. What does McDonald's do? You have to go to McDonald's and buy their takeaway packaging and see. You know what's their takeaway packaging like? Their takeaway packaging is something to do with recyclable stuff. It is being printed. It is being printed and advertised
Central Finance बोलिए.
Sorry. Advertising and PR, brand and product management, business to business marketing, distribution channel, international marketing, marketing research, marketing models and systems, NPD called new product development, NFP non for profit, retailing, sales and sales management, service marketing. These are some areas of careers which you can get in marketing. These are some areas of careers which you can get into marketing. So marketing is something you can do anywhere. You can do it from your house. You can do it from anywhere. You can start your own business from home. That's what I want you to do by learning these skills, what I'm talking about here. In relation building, there is something called the 7 B's of relation building. Be real and unique. Be interested and not just interesting. Be a better listener, empathic, honest, helpful, and prompt. Only if you have these kind of characteristics, we like to build businesses. We build trust. How there are international students in the audience here. There are local students. In Sri Lanka, we have a local Uber version called PickMe. I don't know how many of you all know that. PickMe has introduced something where someone from somewhere can send you a money transfer. The PickMe guy can go to the bank, take that money and come and give it to you. That much trust we have had in this kind of relationship building stuff. That is the level of how we are looking at things, right? We come to a new area called marketing plan. Marketing plan is something which you have to study these steps. I'll go little by little. You have to study these steps. Number one, it's called corporate objective and mission statement. Marketing audit, that's to understand the market. Marketing audit has 3 areas: internal, external, Porter's 5 forces. Internal, external, Porter's 5 forces. Under marketing audit, we have SWOT. Under SWOT, we have smart objectives. Under smart objectives, we have strategies. Front of strategies, we put STP. After that, we put something called Ansof's matrix. We put Porter's generic strategies, marketing tactics, implementation, monitoring and control. Please look at all this. This is something which everyone in marketing has to learn. Everyone in marketing has to understand. Whatever you do in your whole career, even if you do an MBA, you will get to hear the word marketing plan, business plan. This is what you have to do. You will hear marketing plans, business plans. This is what exactly you will have to do. Corporate objectives, marketing audits, marketing objectives, strategies, tactics, implementation, control. You basically got to do all this. It's a general rule which is there. The most easiest way of how we analyze this is called the framework called SOSTAC. Can you see SOSTAC? SOSTAC stands for situation, objectives, strategy, tactic, actions and control. SOSTAC. This SOSTAC is the same as this. This is only SOSTAC. I'm showing you various ways to do the same marketing plan. Whether you do this in any examination in the university, whether you do this, you are still correct. This is an acronym for you to remember. This is an acronym for you to remember. SOSTAC, you don't forget. This, I don't have any acronyms, but it's the same thing. If you can memorize this, it's fine. If you can't memorize this, you will have to go with actually SOSTAC and see how it is, right? I'll tell you the other areas of SOSTAC. The SOSTAC develops something called situational analysis, which says, where are we now? In your life, in your career, where are you now? In your life, in your career, where are you now? What age category are you in? What's your career areas which you are in? Where are you now? Objectives, where do we want to go? I am in Colombo. I want to go to Kandy, the central part of Sri Lanka. I am a marketing manager. I want to become a CEO. My company has one branch. I want to have 50 branches. My company is in Sri Lanka. I want to go international. My objectives. I am in Sri Lanka. I want to become the president of Sri Lanka. I don't want to, but I'm just telling you. Where do we want to go? Where do I want to go? Strategy, how do we get there? And tactics, how do we get there in individual steps? How do we get there in broader steps? How do we get there in smaller steps? How do we get there in broader steps? How do we get there in smaller steps? Action, what do we do? Action, what do we do? Coming into control, how do we know that we have arrived? So we're trying to put a chart here and understand as to how have we arrived. How have we arrived? This is another way of doing a marketing plan. Same thing. What was the first one? This. See the first one. What was the next? This. This explained in a different way is this. That explained in another way is this. 4 ways. 5th way. 5 ways. Where are we now? Where do we want to be? Which is the best way? How might we get there? How can we ensure arrival? 5th variety. 6th variety is still SOSTAC. I have explained this SOSTAC in various infographical modes, so it's not counted as another one, but it's 5 ways. So we're going to start with the first one, which looks into introduction. An introduction to where are we going to start off. If you don't know where you are going, any road will take you there. A voyage of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. How can we go forward when we don't know which way are we facing? Life can be only understood backward, but it must be lived forward. These are kind of certain statements, quotes in life when you want to start something. Imagine you or me getting into the bus in Colombo. This bus is going to Kandy. Kandy is the central part of Sri Lanka. You get in Colombo and you know that the bus ticket guy does not come near you and sell the ticket in the beginning. The bus goes a little. And then he comes and asks, where are you going? All that stuff. This bus starts in Colombo, goes to Kandy. On the way, the bus conductor is coming and asking you, give me money. What's the ticket you want to buy? That means, where are you getting down? How dumb will it be if I ask him a question? Where is this bus going? When he's asking the ticket, I am asking from him, can you tell me where is this bus going? It's like I have got into this bus without knowing where this is going. It's silly and crazy. It can't be. It's silly and crazy. I should know where this bus is going. I should know where this bus is going and then getting in. I should know it's going from here to here. I should know what's happening. So that's the idea of me starting the introduction. And I give some basic details in understanding these core areas: vision, mission, values, objectives, whatever you have. This is the fundamental thing where it starts. You have to have values, you have to have mission, you have to have a vision, you have to have values, aims, objectives in your life. In whatever you do, you got to have that. Your organization should have this. What's this brand you see in the screen, guys? You can comment or you can speak in your mic. What is this brand?
Coca-Cola.
Sorry?
Coca-Cola.
This is Coke, right?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. Okay. So, do you think, what do you think about this advertisement? What do you think about this advertisement? What do you think Coke wants to do? Is my question. Look at this picture and this picture is the same. Can you write in your paper and then type it in my screen in the chat box and tell what is the purpose of Coke? I want it now. I'm going to type it here. Look at this picture and tell me what is the purpose of Coke. What is the purpose of Coke? Anyone who has answered, please raise your hands. Anyone who has answered, please raise your hands. Anyone who has answered, please raise your hands. Very good, Razi. Let me check the answers. Quench the thirst, good. Others? 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 Taste the feeling. It's a cool beverage. Viraj, can you tell me something? Shamila, Shenali, Shen, Sana. Abdul. Others feel the party. Okay. All what you say is, can you see the system Coke has built? All of y'all are correct. All what you said is what Coke builds its value around. When the month of December comes, they always talk about alcohol and party and all this stuff. When another time comes, they talk about something else. When it's a time of cricket or soccer, they will talk about sports. They will talk about friendship. They will talk about happiness. So the purpose of this drink, you can see in my screen. The drinks coming out, the ice cubes going in. All what you see is marketing, my dear friends. All what you see here is marketing. Let's go up a little. All what you see here is marketing. This is marketing, my dear friends. This is marketing. This Coke, if it was in a round glass, let's cheer up. If this Coke was in a round glass, you won't get that feeling. Can you see this figure in this glass? Can you see this figure? They call it the figure of a girl because this is the exact figure a Coke bottle has. That's adding some value. You put some Coke and you put ice cubes and you look at a Coke cup and see, you will feel the refreshing thing. You look at these images where bubbles are going, gas is going, you automatically, my friends, get thirsty. That is the purpose of Coke. Refreshing you, giving you, all this stuff is there. And this picture, these are all edited, this is all edited. This is marketing. What I'm teaching you is marketing. This is exactly how marketing happens. We now try to understand what mission statements are. The mission statements are of certain things. In a business, we ask these questions. What business are we in? What do we make a difference in? Why do we do this? This is basically what is in the mission of whatever you do, whatever you are involved with. But do you know that everyone has a mission? Me, you, we all have a mission. Can you all come to your chat box and tell me what is your mission in life? Can someone type anything? What's your mission in life? What do you dream in your life? What do you dream of achieving in your life? Viraj, can you share something so others will follow up? I will later tell you one of my dreams which I would like to achieve. Can you tell me in your life, what do you dream of achieving? What do you want to achieve? That's your mission. Yes, Viraj, can we have you type something or you tell something? Others can follow. Razi, Abdul, Shamila, Shanali. Okay, Niranjan, it's interesting to see an objective like that. Others? Be with good health and happy. Okay, very good. Others? Others. Viraj, are you in?
Yes, I mean.
So what's your dream in achieving in, I don't know, in the next couple of years or something? My dream is to start something, like the Khan Academy. Anyone who knows Khan Academy knows it. Anyone who doesn't know Khan Academy, please go and refer to what Khan Academy is. Khan Academy is a person, Khan, Bangladeshi, who is, I want to have my own restaurant chain. Okay, cool scene. Very good, Viraj. Viraj, I would like to actually start something like Khan Academy, where Mr. Khan in Bangladesh taught mathematics in an interesting way, free of charge for students, because people didn't like maths, and he taught it free of charge. Everyone has accessibility.
You
My
told me this 2 years back.
Sorry.
You told me this 2 years back when we were starting to have our podcast.
Correct. You're right. So I have to start off with two things here. I need to actually get started with a website, and I need to get an app. So Viraj, at that time, what happened was, I was like looking at how I'm going to do this. First of all, I'm going to finish all my lectures in marketing, and this is going to be the entire area in marketing which you need. So whatever the lectures I am doing in marketing, today is the 4th class. I think I will finish everything in the 8th or 10th class. That entire pack of slides and notes of whatever I discuss, whatever ebooks I do, and whatever the lectures I give is enough for a university education's marketing qualification, including CIM. After I do this, I will make another course free of charge for management, for leadership, for HR. So Viraj, my objective is, let's say in the next 6 months to 1 year, if I can collect about hundreds of videos like this, I think I can have something, accessible free for everyone, where anyone can do this. So you can follow this course, and you can write an assignment for a university and get their certificate free of charge. You might wonder what I am going to get from this. I can get the support from other universities and work closely with them. So that's my whole idea of what I want to actually do. So this is basically what I tell, that what organizations dream in, what they would want to achieve, things like that. A vision is also the same, only minor differences are there when it comes into vision. I have a slide in the word Nielsen. Nielsen is one of the world's top multinational research companies. I worked here for 5 years. Why did I actually bring in AC Nielsen? Is that I call it AC Nielsen because when I was working, it was called AC Nielsen. The word AC was taken off, and now it's called just Nielsen. They do marketing research. And in marketing research, my job, this was my first job, by the way. My job was to actually go and collect research data. I used to go and collect research data. And when I used to go and collect research data, I used to talk to people, and I used to ask them one question about a research. What is the vision and mission of your company from CEOs, and 90% of CEOs didn't know their vision and mission. I used to ask CEOs, what is the vision and mission of your company? 90% didn't know their vision and mission in the company. If 90% doesn't know, how many know? 10% knows. I asked that 10%, tell me the vision and mission of your company, and they told me the vision and mission of the company. In that 10%, when I went home and checked that company's website, what vision and mission they have written there, and what did that 10% tell me, I found that 9% of that didn't know what their vision and mission of the company was. I hope you followed what I said. I went and met CEOs and I asked about their vision and mission. 90% didn't know their vision and mission. They told me they don't know. 10% told me that they know. In that 10%, I wrote down all what they told me, and I went home and I checked that company's website, and I saw whether what they are telling and what the website is matching. They are telling something, the website is telling something else. 1% I found what they said and the website said matched together. 1%. The 9%, they are telling me one thing, the website has something else. Either they are right and the website is wrong, or the website is right and they are bluffing, they are wrong. One of the things are happening. That's why I had the slide on AC Nielsen. So about statements and values, I have collected all these things which I'm going to show you now of what the companies do. They talk about what they have. Like Apple has to initially talk about computers. As Apple didn't have anything else. They had to talk about computers. They didn't have mobile phones. Today, what and what do they have? Today, what and what do they have? They never had all these. They just had some things which they were playing around with. Google, they had information. eBay had commerce, and all these stuff, whatever they're talking here. This is what organization's purpose is. Like Wikipedia wants to give you free encyclopedia to everyone. Learn, 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 learn. Free encyclopedia for everyone. They want to give you everything, whatever they have. Nike, to have authentic, up-to-date, authentic, accurate, correct athlete performance. To have the best athletic performance for athletes. So this is how they actually build in. It builds upon one thing. Look at the one which is on FedEx, couriering. Peace of mind. What is peace of mind and couriering? It's two different things, right? They connect together and they say, you want to give a parcel to Australia, you don't worry. We will give the parcel to Australia. You stay at home with peace of mind. You stay at home with peace of mind. We don't want you to get worried. You stay at home with peace of mind. This is how FedEx build their business. You know that they say, just do it. The slogan of Nike. It's one of the greatest call to actions ever written. This campaign leverages the universal awareness of this slogan and proves that what you do is always more powerful than what you say. What you do, don't say it, but do it is more powerful than what you try to say. If you can do it, it's more powerful than what you are trying to say. So I have given you some information here on how do you create a mission statement. Ask these questions. Who is your target audience? Give it for your target audience. What products or service do you provide? What makes your product or service unique? Make it exciting. Think about your customers. Make it exciting. Make it short sometimes. Think about your customers. Include what is important to you. Don't make it too long and review it. Don't make it too long. With this, I'm going to show you more than 20, 25 such visions and missions the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, guys, the class is going to be finishing in the next 20 minutes. Pay keen attention, right? Walmart. Anyone knows Walmart? Walmart is the world's largest supermarket chain in the United States, developed by Sam Walton. Go and learn about his history. Walmart is huge. Their vision is to become the worldwide leader in retailing. worldwide retailer. You won't believe that buying something in Walmart is dirt cheap, very cheap. If I tell you for an example, let's say in I honestly will tell you a price in Walmart, an original Dunlop tennis ball is $1. What is $1 in Sri Lankan currency? 180 rupees. Where can you buy an original Dunlop tennis ball for 180 rupees? They have original Dunlop tennis balls for 180 rupees. Just an example to tell you something which I saw when I was in United States 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Mission to help people save money so that they can live better. The idea of how they reduce the cost is they are very large, they bulk in large and they reduce the prices and they give the benefit to the consumer. Lux, they have built values around celebrities, around beauty, beauty of females, beauty around Bollywood. These kind of things they have actually created. This is a very long mission statement of Pepsi. A very long mission statement of Pepsi. But I'll show you some other mission statements. This is the mission statement of Citi Group. Mission statement of Citi Group. Mission statement of a company called Dollar General. Family Dollar Store. Ford Vehicles. Nike. All these slides you're going to have, don't worry. Greenpeace. Amazon. McDonald's. Microsoft. Take time and read it, guys. Take time and read it. You can take screenshots if you want, or you can collect the screenshots in the recording, your wish. Next, quickly read through Coke, eBay, Facebook, and Ford. Coke, eBay, Facebook, and Ford. Then check out Google, IKEA, and Intel. Nike. Nike is one of the favorites I have in this list. To bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. To bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Starbucks, Toyota, Twitter. So these are all, various mission statements which are formed. And there are some rules which we give, contain formulation of objectives, make it different from competitors, define your business, make sure that it's exciting. We give in some details and we compare and we tell you what is a good one and what is a bad one. Then it will be easy for you to understand. A good one uses language which constitutes to use, but bad ones have jargon. Jargon means top, hard, very high language. Doesn't understand your audience. It communicates the why, it communicates the what. It's concise. Concise means short. It's really long. I'll show you a long one. Microsoft here. Tell me who is going to remember this. This is boring. Who is going to remember Nike? Where Nike? To bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. That's it. I mean, that's easy. It's memorable. Bad ones you forget. I always remember Nike's one because it's very short. I don't want to remember Microsoft's ones because it's very, very long. After this, we come into something called the marketing audit. Can you see how the marketing audit works? The marketing audit is internal and external. External is divided to micro and macro. Marketing audit is internal and external. External is divided to micro and macro. Now we look into the micro analysis. Here is the micro analysis. We talk about these people, customs. It should be customers, okay? Customers, creditors, shareholders, suppliers, and competitors. Easy to remember is this is C, this is C, and this is C. This is S and this is S. That's the most easiest way to remember. What about the macro external environment? It's pest. P E S T. Sometimes we use an L. So we call it pest, pestle, anything. Political, which talks about government policies. Economical, which talks about economic things like inflation, deflation, interest rates, exchange rates, income, savings, all those. Social means attitudes, behavior, language, culture, beliefs, values. Technology is what type of apps do they have? What's the internet speed? Do they have 4G, 3G, 5G? Do they have good internet? Do they have good penetrations of mobile phones, smart mobile phones, all this stuff? Legal is what are the laws which are actually governing it. So with this, I come into another area called Porter's Five Forces. Porter's Five Forces is an area which has to talk about the inner environment, this. So one way is I will talk about customer, creditor, shareholder, supplier, competitor. This is a model which you can use. But if you are getting a question or you want to show your knowledge to someone that you know Porter's Five Forces, you will talk about this. Threat of substitutes. What's a substitute? If I can use Coca-Cola, a substitute for a Coca-Cola will be another particular drink. Threat of new entrants. Entering the market, what is the investment barrier? There will be barriers, documentation barriers. There will be barriers on investing, finding people, finding the right methodology to do it, things like that. Bargaining power of suppliers. Bargaining power of suppliers is the amount of suppliers you have, and the opposite of that is bargaining power of customers, the number of customers you have. Industrial competitors. Industrial competitors. It's about the competitors who are there in the market. Can you see that all this is equal to this? Here industrial competitors, here bargaining power of customers, here bargaining power of suppliers, and the others are in a different way there. It's almost the same. So that is one. With this, we analyze all this to understand SWOT. You know that strength, weaknesses are internal, opportunities and threats are external. This, lot of people know it. The difference of strength and opportunity is that strength is internal, opportunity is external. Weakness is internal, threat is external. What's a strength? Things, substitute and competitor. Right, very good question. Come here. Threat of substitutes and competitors. Coming to this last dot and the first dot. What is the difference if I am going to answer the threat of a substitute and a competitor? A competitor is the main direct competitor who is competing with you. The direct competitor who is competing with you. In Sri Lanka, we have 5 players into mobile telecommunication. Dialog, Mobitel, Etisalat, Hutch, Airtel. 5 people. So if I am going to talk from this point of view of Dialog, my organization is Dialog. I am going to do Porter's Five Forces. When my organization is Dialog, I'm going to do Porter's 5 forces. I will write down that from Dialog, the industrial competitors are 4. Mobitel, Etisalat, Airtel, and Hutch. These 4, because I am Dialog, my competitors are these. Then the question comes, who are the substitutes of Dialog? The substitutes of Dialog is, when I want to take a call, anything which is a substitute of me taking a call. What's the purpose of the call? To deliver a message. Anything substitute in delivering a message is the anything substitute of delivering a message through Dialog is called a threat of substitutes. In the road, all those communications you see are substitutes. In the road, all those communications you see are substitutes. When you open your laptop and you have installed Skype, Skype becomes a substitute for Dialog. Emails become a substitute for Dialog, and so on. Now, did you understand the difference between substitutes? Razi, is that clear? The difference between substitutes and competitor. My old example, taking Coca-Cola, a competitor for Coke is Pepsi. A competitor for Coke is Pepsi. But a substitute for Coke is water. I am thirsty now. I can drink milk. I can drink king coconut. I can drink water. That's a substitute, but it's not a direct competitor of Coke. Industrial competitors are only for direct competitors. They are only for direct competitors. Industrial competitors are for direct competitors. That's the difference, right? So we come into the SWOT analysis. What is strengths? Now the 10 minutes class is done. Things that the company does well is called strength. Weakness, the things which the companies do not do well. Opportunity is called the conditions in the external environment which favors. The negative ones are in the threat in the external environment which is negative. Now these are some of the examples which we see are either strengths or weaknesses. Production cost. If it's low cost, it's a strength. If it's high cost, it's a weakness. Marketing skills. Employee capabilities. Financial resources. Available technology. Company brand image. All these are, if it's positive, it's a strength. If it's negative, it's a weakness. Then when it comes into opportunities and threats, it's in the SWOT. It's in the pestle environment. It's in the pestle environment. Anything social, economical, technological, political environment is going to be positive. It's an opportunity. Negative, it's a threat. Okay, right. Now let's go back to here. Right. Let's see who will answer me fast in the chat box, and you can write it down. I'm going to tell you a situation. I need you to tell me that, is that a strength? Is it a weakness? Is it an opportunity? Is it a threat? In Sri Lanka, Dialog, Mobitel, I'm from Dialog. In Sri Lanka, we Dialog are having 4 competitors. We Dialog are having 4 competitors: Mobitel, Etisalat, Airtel, and Hutch. We believe in another 1 month from India, Reliance Mobile will enter the Sri Lankan market. Is that a strength for Dialog, a weakness for Dialog, an opportunity for Dialog, or is it a threat for Dialog? It's a threat. Why is it a threat? Because competitors are outside that market which we are having it. Abdul, why can't you hear me? It's a threat. Another one, HSBC. is the world's local bank. HSBC has well qualified employees to treat customer complaints, and they have the ability to speak 3 to 4 languages, and they work 24/7 on roster basis. For HSBC, is that a strength, weakness, opportunity, or a threat? Because employees are inside the company, it's a strength. Very good, Roshan. Very good, Roshan. It's a strength because it's inside the company. Another one. HSBC gets to know that due to COVID-19 situation, consumers are finding hard to live their lives. Therefore, the COVID-19 has threatened people's buying power and spending power. Is that HSBC's strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat? Is that HSBC's strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat? COVID-19 has disturbed the consumer's buying power. Consumer is in the external environment, because in the external environment, it becomes a threat. Because in the external environment, it becomes a threat. Sri Lankan Airlines has qualified employees. The qualified employees are leaving the company and going out. Strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat? Strength, weakness, opportunity, or threat? It's a weakness. Why weakness? They are inside the company. Why weakness? They are inside the company. In the next 3 months, the government has decided to charge a tax for soft drinks, cigarettes, and alcohol. The government has decided to charge a tax for soft drinks, cigarettes, and alcohol. The answer is threat, because it's an external environment thing, Mahesh, not an internal environment thing. It's an external environment thing. Okay. So I hope you kind of understand the range of what I'm discussing here when it comes into, internal and external and, stuff like that. Okay. Right. 5 more minutes and we are done. So this is the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. We discussed a little about marketing objectives, and we say that marketing objectives should be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time. Our objective is to increase market share by 40% and to obtain customer satisfaction rating of 90% by 2020 or in 2020. This is SMART. It is specific. It is specific in what you achieve. It is measurable in what you want to achieve. Here the measurable data. Here the measurable data. It is achievable also. Practically it is achievable. Is it realistic and result oriented? Looks so. Is it time specific? Yes. There you go. If you say that your objective is to do this, that's not specific. That's not SMART. You have to have a SMART objective. You have to have your own deadlines. You have to have your own deadlines. It has to work according to that particular deadlines. So we look into dividing the SMART like this. What do you want to do? How will you know when you have reached it? Is it in your power to accomplish it? Can you realistically achieve it? When exactly do you want to accomplish it? SMART objectives. If your objectives are not SMART, it doesn't find that strong. So I bought this slide purposely to remind you, where are we discussing now? We've discussed situational analysis. We are now discussing objectives. We've discussed situational analysis. We are now discussing objectives. And we are talking about brands. eBay, Samsung, UPS, Facebook, all these brands, because we are trying to understand how these brands are going through all these environments. See, how does the SWOT analysis affect you? This is strength and weakness in the middle. Strength and weakness. Anything to do with opportunity and threats are here. Okay, so this is strength. This is strength and weakness. This is opportunities and threats. This one is opportunities and threats. In this, the organization has control of what is going on because it's inside. So we'll kind of have it like in this color. Organization has control. I'm telling has, listen to it very carefully, guys. 3-4 minutes will be done. Has control. Here, another color. Little control. Little control. Little control. This is little control. Red color. Where is red? I don't know where is red. We'll take this. This one, no control. No control. No control. No control. If the government is charging tax for soft drinks, you can't dance around. You have to change according to your environment. You can't do anything. But if this environment is doing something, you can do something here. Why? Somewhat you can control. Somewhat you can control. Your competitor is trying to copy you, you copy your competitor. Your competitor reduced your price, you reduce your price further. You can have somewhat control. Somewhat control. Then comes what is inside here. Strong control. Strong control because it's inside the company. Strong control because it's inside the company. That's how the pest environment is understood. Okay, it looks like entire mess up, so I'm going to clean it. Wow, it looks better now. So there you go. So next week, not next week, I'll try to have a class tomorrow or in the next few days when we meet. We are going to go through the entire pest area and SWOT areas like this. About political, economical, all this we will go through. So we are going to discuss about pest environment tomorrow or in the next couple of classes. So remember this slide. I'm stopping it here. Any questions anyone wants to ask? Please ask your questions now. Any questions? Okay, perfect. No questions. So I'll let you know the next time duration on the class and we'll see how we can fix it. Okay, guys, have a nice day. Meet you tomorrow. Take care.
Yes, sir.